Um, One of the themes from the press conference that we touched on briefly yesterday didn't have the sound, so we'll play it now. Is the return of John Emery, and this has been quite highly anticipated by many because you've kind of got some diminishing numbers there at running back, and you haven't kind of shown any sort of elite talent there. And while Emery has not proven to be an elite talent to this point in his career, the potential's there. So it'd be nice to have him. And Brian Kelly mentioned that on Monday.
We're excited about getting John back, certainly, and I'm excited for him. It's been a long run for John in terms of getting a chance to get out and play for LSU. He's worked hard to get back into this position, and now he gets an opportunity. Now, let's be careful. Now, he's been off for a while. So, to put a lot of expectations on him in the first game, we certainly can't do that. We've got other backs that have done really well, but he will be part of the mix, and make no mistake about it. We've seen his capabilities in camp. We've kept him active within our rotation, so he's ready to play, and we did that with, obviously our eyes toward the SEC competition coming up, so we're excited to get him back.
So this is something you've heard me say a lot, that for a team to be as good as it can be, the players with the most potential, the highest ceiling, to use a cliche, have to play towards that to be as good as you can be. Sometimes that's not the best thing. Putting those guys out there is not the best thing because there's somebody who's just more solid, more consistent, and yeah, their ceiling's not as high, but that's what you got. Now, that doesn't make you the best team you can be. That makes you the best team that you can be that day. Emery's the most talented running back they've got on the team. And if they're going to be better in the run game, he's going to give them a chance to do that. What do you see when you watch him play?
Yeah, to me, he has the most, make you miss ability, and to me, the most breakaway speed. And I think if you watch a lot of these running backs, especially you take the Southern game out, a lot of these guys only have, 4-yard runs, 5-yard runs. There's no big 55-yard run, touchdown runs. There's no 40-yard touchdown runs. And that's just a dynamic thing that this offense was definitely missing without Emery. And he brings that, that aspect to the game. And so I think for me, I know Coach Frank Wilson and how he operates. I don't see a world if Emery's breaking off 25-yard runs here and 30-yard runs there, they're going to go sit him down. Yeah. I think they're going to leave him in there running hot. So, yeah, I think, as long as he's fresh and everything's cool and he's breaking off some plays, I don't see them saying, well, he has 4 carries. Let's probably shut him down. No, he's got to keep getting the ball.
I'm with you. And I think there's all the running backs have their abilities. Noah Cain is a pretty strong kid. He's a veteran. He understands the speed of college football. And he'll kind of get you what's blocked. That's very similar to what Nick Brissett was at LSU. I think similar in a lot of ways to what Kenny Hilliard was at LSU. Just physical, strong, can get you what's blocked. Not necessarily a game breaker. Armani Goodwin is shifty. He's quick. He's got some speed. But is he an every down back? He's not. He's a guy who can help you offensively. Emery brings the best blend of all of it, as you just said. He's got really good speed. If you turn on the highlights that he's made at LSU, some against Vanderbilt, the long run down the left sideline against Alabama. I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen him out there, but we've seen some flashes. Now, his offensive line is going to have to help him, but there's reason to believe that he can help this offense that really hasn't run the ball very well.
No, there's definitely reason to say that. And I think anytime you're kind of looking at, some of the running backs that are in that room, and to me, getting a great look at Noah Cain, that's a name that, when he first signed, we were kind of excited about. I just don't think that ceiling for big-time runs is there for him. You look at Josh Williams, obviously a former walk-on, just don't see that big-time buzz. And I think Goodwin's probably the closest guy, but, he's a smaller guy. So a lot of times if they're not opening big holes, it's going to be hard for him to get those tough yards. So to me, it kind of just opens the world for Emery to kind of show the world what he can do, being the most talented guy, obviously the most heavily recruited guy going into that room. He's been here a very long time. Let's kind of see what he can do if he can step up to the mantle, because if he can do that, it's going to create a facet of this offense that's going to be very difficult to deal with if Jaden Daniels can start pulling that ball out and you really start being a two-headed monster that way.
What do you think John Emery's role is going to be on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's going to be what I said, man. I think they're going to trot him out there, and if he's, breaking off some big-time runs, I think they're going to keep letting him run hot. Now, if he gets out there, 3-yard run here, maybe 4-yard run there, and not really
missed block.
Yeah, then I think you're going to see them kind of continue to rotate and kind of try to ease him back in there. But I'm telling you now, if he starts running hot, he's got to be out there.
Yeah, I think this is a guess because we just don't know Brian Kelly to this point. So I'm just going to throw out there a half-educated guess that maybe that comment that he tells the media on Monday is also talking to John. Now, I'm sure they're having this conversation with John Emery as well, but it's like, look, you hadn't played in 2 years. So we're not going to send you out there to start the game, to carry it 27 times, and that's just not your role in this game. Maybe against Texas A&M, we start moving the football late in the game, and you're the guy, and you do carry it 28 times. Maybe in a physical game against Auburn in a couple of weeks, we decide that you're ready to roll a little bit. But right now, you can expect to carry it 6 or 7 times. We may throw it to you a couple times, make sure you're in the right spot, and we're not going to overextend you. And maybe he's just talking to the media, but I'm with you. If it does start cooking, he's a senior. It's not like this is not the same as asking a freshman pitcher to throw 140 pitches because he's throwing it well. This is asking running back to go out there and get some yards, and he's a senior. So,
look, I can tell you from firsthand experience with Frank, my freshman year playing Alabama in 2012, I ended up with 29 carries. That Wednesday or Thursday during practice, I think, you're probably about to get almost 30 carries against Bama this week. No, I did not know. It just a game started, break a couple runs, and then they're going to try to keep running it in there. So I think that's kind of what they're going to be with Emery. I think they trust him, and I think, if he's showing that he's in shape, he's not winded, he's not injured or anything, and he's breaking off ones, and he's got 70 yards, they're not going to be like, well, we don't want him getting 100. Let's kind of chill this thing out. No, he's going to be all right.
How does Frank handle that on game day with who's going in and out and you're thinking you're going to go in, but this guy's cooking a little bit. Hold on, we got to wait. What's that like on the side?
I'm not sure how him and Coach Kelly do it, but I know when he was with Coach Miles, he had full reign to kind of put whoever in the game that he wanted to put in the game. And so it's kind of just how the game flow went for Coach Frank. I remember the South Carolina game was kind of similar. Like, I didn't start that game, really didn't play like the first 2 or 3 series. Get in there, break off a few runs, and then next thing you know, just start getting more and more and more. They start feeding you, and then kind of the guys who were getting those 3 and 4 yard runs that week, you probably aren't going to get more of those. So it's kind of luck based. I always say that to the guys in the room. Like, if you're the guy where they block it up good for you and you burst through there, then now you're going to be the guy kind of getting more of the looks. But if you're the guy where they kind of get blown up, and then you're probably not. So it's really game flow related, and I think that's kind of how the way the Coach Frank's going to do it.
Alexander and Trey Turner clearing out. Judavian, clearing out Melvin Ingram, just kind of moving. And I used to write on Fridays a little preview column. I would break down the entire game, and I would give my score prediction. And my first year on the beat was 2011. And so you would always pick LSU to win because you always thought they were going to win. I did pick them to lose to Alabama in Tuscaloosa and the national championship game, but I almost always picked LSU to win. And that was the first time in writing that column in 2012 where I was like, man, like, they didn't play well at Auburn. They got beat at Florida. Like, they're not beating the South Carolina team. So I wrote it was so new to me after my second year in the column to they're not going to win this game, and having to write that. And then all of a sudden y'all came up and punched them right in the mouth. That was a heck of a game.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. And I think that was, to me, you talk about getting, things from within, getting bulletin board material. I tell people the story all the time. South Carolina, that was just a bad idea. They came on the eye before the game. They were bumping their gums, talking. They got my boy Moffitt fired up. Moffitt's throwing helmets through walls. Like, I've never seen a pregame just so fired up. So I don't think many teams would have came in and beat us that night. We were just ready to go.
Surely were. That was a fun game. I remember going down to on the field and being like, that's a really impressive win for a team that has not had it figured out for the first 5-6 weeks, and sure did that night. So LSU took out South Carolina. We'll see if LSU can take out Mississippi State coming up on Saturday.
Thanks so much for watching Hunt Hill on YouTube.
Now do us a favor. Hit the red subscribe button below and throw us a like. We'll see you next time.